He showed great takedown defense. His striking looked really good. His cardio was on point as it usually is. I thought Dricus Du Plessis fought as good a fight as he has fought in a really long time.
Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman, both guys coming back after lengthy layoffs over a year. And oh my God, what a fight that was. Unbelievable.
Like I said, he's a big boy. And you know, when you start seeing two of the big boys, and he's got kind of, like I said, it's a weird, rangy shots. So it's kind of a little delayed to get out of the way of those shots, you know, seeing them. But, you know, no excuses.
Joe Rogan couldn't believe what he was watching because almost nobody expected Dricus Du Plessis and Kamaru Usman to produce a fight like that. Going into UFC 329, most fans believed they already knew exactly how this fight would play out. Some thought Usman's wrestling and experience would completely shut Dricus down. Others believed Du Plessis' relentless pressure and awkward style would eventually overwhelm the former champion, but when the cage door closed, the fight unfolded in a way very few people predicted, leaving the entire MMA world debating just how good Dricus Du Plessis really is.
And he's got a great chin. He's still got it. It's not like it's like, oh, Usman's done and he should retire. He had a great fight tonight. So yeah, I don't know. He's got to go home, rest, heal up, and figure out what's next.
Who do you think will be next against Strickland?
I don't think about that shit tonight. You know, he just fought a great fight, looked good, and you know, we'll go back to the lab on Tuesday and start kicking it around.
Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman at 185 pounds. Kamaru moving up after a legendary career at 170. Fought everybody, beat a lot of people. Both these men have beat the current middleweight champion of the world. That just shows you how much parity's in the UFC right now. Best can beat best on any given night. Dricus obviously coming off the loss to Khamzat Chimaev. A little bit of a layoff since then. Kamaru Usman coming off of another layoff, but also a big win over Joaquin Buckley over a year ago now, I guess, or maybe a year to the day. No, over a year ago. But regardless, you knew this was going to be an uphill battle for Kamaru Usman. Dricus Du Plessis is a massive middleweight. He is only a 220-pound guy, and, you know, obviously coming off the Khamzat loss, there were going to be adjustments there. Usman's 39 years old, you know, moving up from 170, and his main objective was to try to eliminate the standing back and forth, I would assume, from Dricus, or at least strike to get to grappling, none of which he was able to do tonight because Dricus was just as clumsy as he looks, as crazy as his strikes are, and as head-scratching as some of the techniques look to people. They work. I don't understand it. And then at some points I do understand it. It looked like a great game plan tonight, but some of the stuff he does doesn't look like it should make any sense. He almost looks like he knows how to not fight, but also doesn't know and still does fight. It's a very interesting style. Again, it's Dricus Du Plessis. He's one of the best in the world.
And whether Kamaru Usman still belongs amongst the elite, Joe Rogan was one of the first people to break down the performance, pointing out just how difficult Dricus is to prepare for. His style has never looked textbook, yet somehow it continues to frustrate world-class opponents. He throws from unusual angles, constantly changes his rhythm, mixes in relentless pressure, and never seems to let his opponents settle into a comfortable pace. Against someone as experienced as Kamaru Usman, many expected those openings to be exposed. Instead, Dricus once again found a way to make his style work against one of the greatest welterweights of this generation.
It's tough to be on this side. I'm not used to being on this side. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
Do you feel better at 185, or are you happy to go back down to 170?
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I can make both. It's not a, yeah, 170 is a cut, but it's, at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest welterweight. So, you know, it is what it is. You deal with it. If there's opportunities there, I'm going to go there. If the opportunities up here, I'm going to stay here. So there's really it doesn't matter. You know, it sucks that I wasn't victorious tonight because we're having a complete conversation, different conversation, had I went out and been able to execute the way that I wanted. So I guess this is my time of not being able to execute like I've done to most guys.
Couple of things in that fight. Very clear in the last round. DDP threw a kick. I must tell you, I thought it was a clean kick. It didn't look to me like it went anywhere near the groin. I didn't replay it. I saw it one time, but it looked like a clean kick. Kamaru Usman
called timeout. I mean, he stopped fighting. He said something to the referee, and he waved it off, give me a minute, as though the referee was going to say, hey, that was a low blow, take a break. But the referee didn't say that. And therefore, DDP had the right to clobber Kamaru. He had the right, as Kamaru kind of turned and walked away and dropped his guard, DDP had every right to throw a right hand, which would have knocked his socks off. You don't want to get hit clean by DDP with your hands down. Come on, we can all agree to that. DDP didn't do it, and this is really a rule that's never been called in the UFC. And I only bring it to your attention because I like the rules. I find the administration side to be very interesting. You guys might remember Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes used to call timeouts in his fights all the time. I mean, he did like 3 fights in a row where he called timeout. The problem is whether it should be stopped or not, whether it's a low blow or not. Very clear in the rules, there are no timeouts. If you say, hey, time, I need a second, I'm hurt, well, that's what the whole thing's about.
Perhaps that's what impressed so many people. Coming into the fight, plenty of fans believed Usman's championship experience, elite wrestling, and composure in 5-round fights would give him a huge advantage. After all, he'd shared the octagon with some of the biggest names in UFC history and consistently found ways to win when the pressure was highest. But Dricus refused to fight Usman's fight. He constantly forced new exchanges, mixed up his attacks, and never allowed the former champion to dictate the tempo for long enough to fully take control. The reactions around the MMA world came almost immediately. Joe Rogan praised Dricus' ability to solve problems inside the cage, explaining that his awkward movement and relentless pace make him one of the most difficult fighters in the sport to read. Dana White also acknowledged the performance, recognizing that victories over former champions are exactly what separates contenders from genuine title threats. Other fighters were just as impressed. Tom Aspinall highlighted Dricus' confidence under pressure, while former champions and top contenders began discussing where this victory now places him in the division. Even fighters who had previously questioned Dricus' style admitted that continuing to win against elite opposition makes it impossible to ignore what he's accomplishing. For Kamaru Usman, though, this defeat creates another fascinating conversation.
You just had a devastating loss. How does your takedown defense look in this one? How did it look? Kamaru Usman didn't get a single takedown, went 0 for 7. Pretty good, is what I would say. There was one takedown that Kamaru Usman got, but he could never establish any kind of control on the ground.
Cut from Dricus again, and he ducks and shoots. Usman whiffs on the punches. Lands a shot there. Dricus covers well. He's good. Body shots from Usman. Oh, big right hook back from Dricus at the end. There you go. Usman had a little moment. There you go. Good for him. That's good little aura redemption there at the end to throw some shots, but...
When it went to the judges' scorecards, Kamaru, because of the way it ended and the momentum that he had, thought that he might have deserved a decision, which he didn't. He was surprised at the score of 50-45 in 2 judges' scorecards. Maybe a 49-46, something like that. I think he lost every round, and I say that with nothing but respect for Kamaru Usman. Now, of course, Dricus Du Plessis is back in the winning column.
Nobody is questioning everything he's achieved throughout his incredible career. He's already cemented himself as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But after another huge fight against another elite opponent, fans have naturally started asking whether the division is finally beginning to change around him, or whether he still has another championship run left before calling time on an unbelievable career. As for Dricus, this victory may have been the biggest statement yet. Every time people doubt him, he somehow finds another gear. Every time critics question his technique, then he answers inside the octagon. And after beating one of the most accomplished fighters of the modern era, the conversations about his future have become impossible to ignore. Now attention turns towards what's next. Does Dricus move straight into another title opportunity? Does he defend his position against another elite contender? Or has UFC 329 finally proved that he deserves to be mentioned alongside the very best pound-for-pound fighters in the world? One thing is certain, Joe Rogan wasn't the only person left impressed. After UFC 329, the rest of the MMA world may finally be running out of reasons to doubt Dricus Du Plessis.